What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Casey Jones versus the Foot Soldier. And so here we have Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier posing out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figures, let's actually take a look at their accessories, because they do come with it quite a bit. We'll have a look at Casey Jones' accessories first. Casey Jones does come with 3 sets of hands. We do get a pair of fists. We get a pair of grip hands. We get a right pointing finger. And then we have a left thumbs up. He also does come with an array of weapons. We do get a sledgehammer, which looks really nice. A baseball bat. An aluminum pipe. He gets a hockey stick. Then he also does get a goalie hockey stick. His final accessory is, of course, his carrying case, which does go around his shoulder nicely. And thankfully you can store all his weapons in it. So that's everything that Casey Jones comes with. Let's actually move on to the Foot Soldier here. The Foot Soldier, just like the other Foot Soldier that we had a look at, comes with 4 sets of hands. We get a pair of fists. We get a pair of grip hands. We get a pair of flat chopping hands. Then we get a pair of style pose hands. We also get the pulse rifle, which does fit into either of his grip hands. We get the drill rifle, which again looks really nice. I do like it. We do get 2 shurikens. We get an orange shuriken. Then we also get a gray shuriken. His final accessory is, of course, a communicator, which does have Rocksteady in it, which looks really nice. I do like the array of accessories. So that's Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier's accessories. So let's actually have a look at their details, starting with the Foot Soldier, just because he's mostly something we've seen before. So here we have a better look at the Foot Soldier. Now, it might appear that he's a little off to the side, and yes, he actually is, but it's not because one of his legs is shorter than the others. It's basically because of how they designed this figure. Now, I admire what they did with this figure, but I think long term it really doesn't help this figure out too much. So having a look at the figure, for the most part, he is 90% reuse of something we have seen before. Everything that you see on him, with the exception of his torso, is reuse from the previous Foot Soldiers that we've had a look at, be it the Raphael Michelangelo set, the Foot Soldier 2-pack, or the April O'Neil Foot Soldier. Most of it is reuse with the exception of his torso. And in case you're wondering why he's called the slashed version, there you go. He is completely slashed, and I do appreciate the idea behind this. It does look like he got slashed right there, and I do like the fact that we do see some wiring, some mechanical bits to him. You can see some of the wiring did come loose. It looks like that yellow wire was supposed to go up there. Like I said, I admire what NECA was going with this figure, but I don't think this was a right idea. If they had put like a clear acrylic peg going from down here up here, I think that would alleviate some of the worries that I have with it, because the only thing connecting these 2 halves of the torso is this little red bar. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it does look like it is starting to warp on mine. Let's see. Yeah, it is starting to warp on mine because he is leaning off to one side, and that's just the nature of the beast. They should have had like a clear acrylic piece right here in the back just to give it some support, because over time I fear that this is gonna like bend completely over, and that has a possibility of snapping or breaking off. So I do worry about that. So that's something you guys might want to take into consideration before posing him for long term. If you're gonna pose him, I would recommend posing him like flat on the ground. That way you don't have any weight bearing down on him. But other than that, it's the exact same figure we've seen before. Legs, feet, arms, everything we've seen on this figure, with the exception of his torso, which again they did a really good job, especially with the torn tunic that he has. But again, I admire the idea behind it, but the execution could have been different. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually have a closer look at Casey Jones. And so here we have a look at Casey Jones, and once again NECA has done a phenomenal job of capturing the likeness from the TV show. Really do like this classic looking Casey, and everything about it screams animated series, from the shape of the hockey mask to the wild hair, even the line work they put throughout him. I think this is a job well done. I really do like the red straps going around the hockey mask. So overall, I think NECA has done a fantastic job with Casey Jones, and I think out of the 2, he is the stronger figure. Unfortunately, he doesn't come with an alternate head. This mask is permanently affixed to his head. This is all one sculpt. Thankfully, his head is removable just so you can get his knapsack or his weapon holder around his shoulder, because as it stands, you really can't drape it over his head. His hair is just too big. So they did a really good job of implementing his head with the accessory, so I do like that. Having a look at Casey Jones, one thing that always bothered me about Casey Jones is that he has a midriff shirt. Now, I get it, he's from the 90s. The 90s was a really strange thing. Never really was a fan of this design. I think the movie did a really good job of portraying Casey Jones. Because this, he kind of has the torn sleeves and then the sweatpants going on. Nothing wrong with the look, but yeah, I just was never a fan of the sweatpants and midriff. But again, NECA did a really good job of capturing the likeness from it. And just like with all the other figures, he does have that two-tone shade throughout the figure, with the exception of his head, where I don't know what they would have done. Actually, it does appear like there might be some two-tone in the strap. It might just be my imagination, but it's probably my imagination. He does have the single pauldron right here. For a guy who carries around hockey equipment, why doesn't he have hockey pads? He has a hockey mask. He has hockey sticks. Why not wear hockey pads? I mean, you can kind of say he wears a pad right here, which it is a soft rubber material, which I do like that. It will get out of the way of posing, but not too much. It doesn't have too much give. But yeah, I really do love the way he looks, and his leather gloves do have those little slits in them, as you would expect leather gloves from the 90s to have. One issue I do have with Casey Jones is the little strings for his sweatpants. It is a little bit fragile, and if you are a little bit crazy with it, yeah, it does come off. It's not broken. It is attached via tiny little peg, but I don't know how they could have done that. Maybe if they had made this one solid piece and had this painted, I think that would be better than that little piece. Because if that breaks off and you lose it, it's gone. It's gone forever. Trust me on that. The sweatpants are done in this beige color, but it does look like that they didn't do the two tones on his beige, which is a little bit unfortunate, seeing as how the rest of the figure does have those two tones. I would have liked to see NECA do that with this figure. You can see he has the torn knees, because when you're from the 90s, you always tore the knees on your sweatpants. I don't know what it was. I even had sweatpants that had knees torn out. So yeah, it's just a common thing with the 90s. And it just happened naturally. It's not like I planned it to happen. We get some more line work. Then he has like ties right here on the bottom because the elastic, it came off completely. Then we do have his green military style boots. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be military style boots, but they don't really come off in there. They kind of look like green clown shoes, which is a little bit unfortunate that they didn't make it look a little more militaristic. But then again, this is almost accurate to the animated series, so I really can't complain about the look of the figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually compare Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier posing next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And finally, here we have Casey Jones and the Foot Soldier posed next to a NECA April O'Neil and a NECA Animated Series Turtle. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at their articulation, and we'll start with the Foot Soldier because it's something we have seen before. Like all the other Foot Soldiers, his head is hunched over, so we have a ball joint that does then look up, looks down, does look to the left, does look to the right due to pivot, and then because of the way it is angled, it does rotate almost at a swivel. Well, it always swivels, but it swivels vertically instead of horizontally. So there is that limitation. Arms are on ball joints. That one's a little stiff, so let's see if this arm goes out. Nope, the arms don't want to go out any further. It might just be the way this torso is designed that the arms don't really go out to the side too much, so that's all that I'm going to be able to get without forcing it. We do have a bicep swivel. Double bend in the elbow does go up a little past 90 degrees. Swivel hinge at the wrist, which does work really nicely. As you would imagine, nothing in the abdomen because of the empty space right here. But he does have a waist swivel, which is something, I guess. Legs do kick out to the side like that. Kick forward, kick back, swivel up high, double bend at the knee. Works no problem. We have a swivel and then a ball joint here at the foot, which does go back and forth, in and out. And then we do have a toe hinge, which, okay, there we go. It does work and it looks pretty good. So the foot soldier has a decent amount of articulation. Moving on to Casey Jones, and the string just fell off, as you guys can see. He does have a double ball joint in the head. He can look down about that far, can look up about that far, can tilt his head to the side really nicely, and of course does look left and right. Arms do go out to the side. No problem, he can T-pose, as you can see. Arms do go all the way around, although the left arm is hindered by the pauldron. Right arm hindered by nothing, so I do like that. We do have a swivel here at the bicep, double bend at the elbow. We have a swivel hinge at the wrist. We do have a mid-torso joint right here. It does allow for some pivot, some forward and back movement, but it's not a lot, so don't expect anything crazy out of them. We do have a waist swivel, which works no problem. Legs do kick forward to about right there. You can force it a little bit more, but this is a soft piece right here on his pelvis here, so you will end up warping that if you have it too crazy. Does go out to the side, no problem. Does he do the splits? Good enough for somebody who I would imagine is athletically gifted. Swivel here at the thigh. We do have a double bend here at the knee, although it is kind of stiff on mine. Doesn't want to go on that leg. On this leg we got, yes, we do kick up, so I do like that. No boot swivel, but we do have a hinge in the ankle, which does go forward and back, so love that movement. And then we do have rocker ankle. There we go. Yeah, it was just a little bit stuck, but it does move really nicely. So overall, Casey Jones and the foot soldier have pretty good articulation, with Casey Jones having better articulation because he's a much newer figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get these guys posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have Casey Jones and the foot soldier posed for my final thoughts. And overall, I really do like the way this set came out. Casey Jones is a welcomed addition to the Ninja Turtles, and I think the accessories on him work. I love the way they're actually painted. They look like they just jumped right out of the animated series because they do have a black line around them, and I really think that's something that not too many companies would have done. The foot soldier is another really good inclusion to the Foot Clan, although I do have my worries about him. I don't think I'll be posing this guy standing up for too long, seeing as how he's only supported by one little rod, and I don't know how long he'll be able to support his own weight before that either bends or breaks. So having him on the shelf is probably going to be face down, battered, broken, and the way most foot soldiers end up, and that's on the ground. However, I do think Casey Jones here is a star of this set, seeing as how the foot soldier is something we have seen in the past, just with a new torso. I honestly think NECA could have gotten away with just releasing Casey and April in a 2-pack by themselves, and just releasing the battle-damaged foot soldiers together as a set. Either way, I'm still really happy to have Casey Jones in my collection, as well as another foot soldier. Now, if you are looking for this set, unfortunately it was a Target exclusive, and I believe NECA actually offered this set online for a brief moment. I don't quite remember if it was just for international or if it was for both American and international, but I do know that this was a Target exclusive set. Now, unfortunately, this set is pretty hard to come by at this point. If you are looking for it, you will have to pay scalper prices for it, which is unfortunate because I really think this is one of the better sets NECA has put out for the Ninja Turtles. If you're lucky enough to have this set, I'm pretty sure you're enjoying it as much as I do. And if you haven't found it, hopefully you can get it at a decent price, because I really think you should pick up this set. Casey Jones is a really good character to have, and his accessories are very good, and it never hurts having another foot soldier. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Ninja Turtle videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.